Chapter 3.2 Sharing Data as Collections. In Chapter 1.3 we introduced collections. Collections are ways whereby you can group together different data queries from any data set and share them with a wider audience. Creating and setting up collections is very straightforward within Origin. Here we have a query that from the previous chapter where we were looking at city centre school catchment area within Sheffield, and we'd looked at some GCSE results. For this scenario, let's say we wanted then to share this snapshot. It's not so much a snapshot, we actually want to share this data as a live link with a wider audience. Now to do that we use a collections function, which is available under My Collections. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into My Collections, and I'm going to create a new collection. These are some demo collections that I've created previously. I'm going to create a new collection specifically for this GCSE data. So for details we're going to call it Education Collection for the 2009 report. And I'm going to specify it under, again, the education category for Sheffield, and I'm going to give it a meaningful description. This data is used for, it's available at neighbourhood level. At this point in time I can save this collection for my own use, or if I wish to I can also publish it to other users in the system. However, in the first instance what I'll do is I'll just keep it private to myself. So when the basket is saved, all I need, or the collection I should say, is saved, all I need to do is add different queries to that collection. So I'm going to load up that previous saved query from the last chapter on GCSE data, and this time what we want to do is add it to our collection. So when I go into the data builder screen, I can pick the indicators I want or leave them the same, and this time I'm going to add this data to my collection. The system prompts me for which collection I want to add it to, so you can see all of the collections that I have created are here, and I'm going to add it to the education collection. I'm going to give this single indicator a name, so it's called GCSE attainment, and I can give it a short description. So once that collection is created, I can go back and I can actually now add more data from different data sets into that collection. So let's go and look at some other education data, again for those catchment areas. So if we go to, that was neighbourhood Sheffield catchment area in the city, let's see what other indicators we have available. And under education, completely different data set, we have primary school attendance, and we're going to add this to our collection, so it's the attendance rate. I'm going to add it to my collection. Again, I'm going to pick education, and this is primary school attendance rate. So as you can see, you can give it a different name than the indicator is called within the data set, which might be appropriate if you are sharing something and you want to give it a different context. So I've now got two items in that, and I can continue to go back and add in more. So let's just, for the completion, put in the secondary school. again into the education collection, secondary school attendance. And once that's been set up, then simply under My Tools, My Collections, I can access this education collection at any time. So if I view the collection, there's the indicators that make it up, and I can view any of those, or I can go back, I can edit the metadata for them. So if I want to change that from GCSE attainment to whatever, I can do so. And this is where it also gets interesting, in that I can take this collection that I've maybe been working on for a number of weeks, and it's maybe in relation to a specific report, and I can now publish it out to other users. And who I can publish it to depends on my security rights. I'm in as a system admin at the moment, so I can see everything, but you can have a very granular level of control here. So let's say I only want to publish this right out to the public, so I can select the public users, and I also want this collection to appear within a couple of my thematic groups. Obviously I want this within my education and skills group. So if I now save this collection, and if I log right out of the system, so I'm no longer recognized in the system, I should still be able to access, or other users should now be able to access this collection. So if we go and have a look under education training, we can see we have one collection here, education collection for the 2009 report. I can click on it and I can see these indicators straight away: GCSE attainment, primary school attendance, and so forth. And as a user I can call that up without having to go into any of the dataset controls for browsing data. Now there's more. What we're going to do now is use collections and add some maps and charts to them to build up a truly dynamic profile. So let's log back into the system. So we're going to call up again that collection, and you can see there it is there. And as you see, we get some statistics on these collections as they're being used. So this one's been accessed 4 times, albeit by me. Here we have the GCSE attainment. Now let's say I wanted to produce a default chart for this data, so that if other users are viewing it, they don't have to make selections. So let's say in this case I'm not happy that the bar chart is the correct way of presenting this, and I want to use a side-by-side, or say a horizontal chart, and we want to use it much smaller. I can change the formatting options, and then I can set a preference. Setting the preference allows other users to automatically see the chart that I created for the specific collection item. So if we go back and view the collection from an end user's point of view, so I'm just going to go and look at the collection, you can see for GCSE attainment it now has a default chart. So when I pick that, the chart is displayed in the way I want it to. And I can apply this methodology also to the map. So let's say we want all users to see the same style of map, such as this. I add the preference, and then if I go back out, you can see we have built up a preference in terms of the data selection, the chart, and the map. And this can be done to all of the indicators that you put in it. Collections all of a sudden become a very powerful tool for representing snapshots of data in a variety of ways. Bearing in mind that these are also live links to the data, so that if and when datasets are updated, these collections are automatically refreshed and updated.